I started because one of my friends sent a cryptic Facebook post saying he was sent an address in a random place to go, and then he got there and there was a puzzle there, and there was something that said, go here now, and there was an address and things like that. So as soon as I read that, I was like, oh my God, I need more info about this. And that's when I found the website. And then the website, we didn't really know what it was. You know, there were creepy quotes from Aleister Crowley and Manson and Edgar Allan Poe, and it's like right there, I'm in, no matter what it is, you know. And then on top of that, you kind of have to earn your way for the email to sign up. But what I tell people it's a mix between immersive theater, horror movie, an escape room, a haunt, and everything basically that I love wrapped up into a big ball.
Wow. Okay, that sounds pretty much like my impression of it, I guess, too. And Russell, you and Mike together run a podcast, right? My Haunt Life?
Mike and I are behind myhauntlife.com, and we are... we have done, I think mainly because Mike and I examined haunts and immersive theater pieces. This is a world that Mike and I are very passionate about as fans and participants. I've worked with a haunt myself in the past few years. Mike has done home haunting as well. We're both creative individuals, and we started this podcast not long before Tension Experience began. And when we discovered Tension Experience, we just started mentioning it, and we found that a lot of people would ask us questions about it. We started devoting more time to it because it became more and more intricate and more interesting. So My Haunt Life has been, Tension Experience has very graciously pointed toward My Haunt Life a couple of times, because we do devote, I think our longest was almost 2.5 hours of a podcast of, look, we don't know what all of this means, but this is our interpretation of the story so far. And it's like a radio serial play at this point.
You guys are having kind of different experiences within the broader experience, I guess?
Yes.
Okay, that's cool. Andrew, so when I was reading a little bit about it, I saw some blog posts that you wrote, you've had some particularly crazy run-ins. Can you give us an example of one of those?
My experience started back in February, where most people's did. Although I didn't hear about it, the OOA emailed me out of the blue. I don't know how they got my email or why they contacted me. The OOA Institute, which is the sort of Illuminati, shadowy organization that we are all a part of. And yeah, right from when I went to their site and put in my email, they seem to have a really weird interest in me, and I kept exploring and sort of pulling at the seams, and got a lot of warning calls to back off and just go for the ride. And for those first couple weeks, it was really intense. They showed up outside my work in a vehicle. I just felt I was getting phone calls maybe 4 or 5 times a day at all weird hours, and they seemed to know a lot about me and where I was. My wife and I just got out of the doctor's office. I posted a ultrasound picture on Facebook for our second kid. And immediately I'm walking out of the doctor's office and my phone rings and it's Tension saying congratulations in the creepiest way possible. So yeah, they kept heavy tabs on me, and as I think they do most people.
Was your wife super excited?
No, she still thinks I'm crazy. And she says if they talk to me or get near me, I'm going to fucking kill them.
Wow. That's good news. Kimberly, from lurking around the message boards and reading some of trying to absorb what's going on in there, it seems like you're a villain or something.
Excuse me?
I think I picked up on it. I can tell. A villain of some kind?
Play nice.
Are you on the other side of this? Because there's BOS and Sanction. What is that all about?
I would describe myself more as the hero. Kind of like Batman.
So it's a perspective thing then?
Yes, kind of like Batman, The Dark Knight, that kind of thing.
Oh, wow.
Robin Hood stealing from the poor to give, or stealing from the rich to give the poor, that kind of thing. I really wouldn't consider myself a villain.
Even though stealing is, bad.
Uh-oh. Okay. Wow. We have controversy everywhere.
I've never actually harmed anybody. I can't say so much and opted not to.
Oh, well, that's okay.
And then I sat 2 feet away from a gatekeeper that was murdered, and it wasn't one of my people, it was one of your people.
All right.
So yeah, it's all perspective.
Murder.
To
That's
be fair,
awesome.
that person did kill a lot of people.
So
Allegedly.
preemptive self-defense. Okay, so all of this stuff, so the phone call.
It's okay, Jonathan, we're really friends, actually.
Oh, okay. All right. I don't know if I believe you. So all of this stuff is happening in the real world, in your real life, having baby world. So, I mean, would you
Future
say
possible.
that what is happening is living up to the title? Is it aptly titled as tension? Are you feeling that in your life?
At times, yes. It's funny, actually people have now started joking with me on the forums. They have this uncanny ability to call me right before I go into long work meetings. Literally 5 minutes before I have a work meeting scheduled. It has happened numerous times.
Like your mom.
And it's like, they will call me and give me a piece of information. Like, I can't deal with this for 5 hours. Yeah, it's, you do get cryptic emails. I have gotten a couple of very specific emails. I expressed and I think Andrew, at one point, I think when I talked that early on, you'd asked some specific questions. I did the same thing, and they answered very specifically to me. They used a nickname that maybe only 15 to 20 people know, that ties me very specifically to a specific event. And so stuff like that gets under your skin, and they're very good at that. And actually, I applaud them for that, because if you're into this immersive experience, whatever it is, those are the kind of cool, bonus, Easter egg kind of things.
When it's super personalized like
It has been a couple of times for me very super personalized. And I did. You were saying that we all have different experiences. Mike and I have different experiences. At one point, I showed up at an event and then I was theoretically kidnapped, hijacked in a vehicle that was not sanctioned by who I was supposed to meet.
Sorry.
I was made names. But the reason for it, and what I was going to lead to, is it's all developing as part of a storyline. It's all developing as part of a plot. I am an editor by trade, and so that's the most interesting part for me. Is I'm looking at the overall story, going, oh, this is an interesting development. This is what I'm drawn to emotionally, and that's the key thing for me. Is that it seems to be affecting this community, whatever this community is, whatever this community as a whole we decide to be. It's the emotional level and the emotional intensity that some people feel that I think is the most interesting aspect of this, whether you decide to call it an ARG or a haunt or an immersive experience. And I don't think it fits easily into any of those categories. It's the emotional experience.
Doesn't matter. Well, when you talk about the emotional aspect of it, that actually gives us a nice opportunity. I'm going to ask you guys, let you guys go back to your seats. I really appreciate you guys for coming up. Let's give them a round of applause, giving us an idea. So, as Russell just mentioned something about the emotional aspect of it, which kind of ties into, I think we have a short video that kind of sets the tone for tension. So why don't we take a look at that? Thanks, guys.
Indoctrination begins fall 2016. A fully immersive, site-specific journey of trust, betrayal, and submissions. Essential. Register now at attentionexperience.com.
Okay, so That gives you a little bit of what's going on, and up until now, this whole thing has been fairly underground, and the people behind it have stayed sort of behind it. But today, exclusively here at Scare LA, for you fortunate people who are able to join us, the creator has decided to step out and pull the curtain back a little bit and give us a little insight into what's going on. So whether it's an ARG or a haunt or immersive, whatever it is. So everybody, let's welcome up to the stage the creator of Tension, Ellis Gordon. Come on, Ellis. Sit right next to me. Thanks for
Good to
coming.
meet you, Jonathan.
No, thanks for doing this.
Awesome. Thanks
So
for coming, everyone.
excited.
It's great to have you here.
You can tell we have no
Yeah.
idea what's
Actually,
going on.
I have. Who would like a ticket to Ascension? I like your T-shirt, so I'm going to give it to you if you don't have one yet.
No, I do, but I'll take it.
Anyone doesn't? Okay. You over there.
That is pretty awesome. Right. Look at that. I didn't know you were going to do that. So Ellis, let's start with the first kind of general question. Is this theater? Do you call it an ARG? Is it a haunt?
Yeah. I mean, yeah. It's all like you've said. We set out to blend the various platforms. So.
Well, one thing that I've noticed looking through the materials is the way that Tension kind of markets itself or promotes and recruits people.
What do you mean?
Okay, we'll come back to it. So you haven't been around Scare LA before. I haven't seen you, so maybe you should give everybody a little bit of background onto who you are, where you come from. Are you a haunt community? Are you immersive theater guy? What's your story?
Kind of all of those in the sense that that's what I've always been drawn to, but I'm a theater guy. I'm from New York, and I grew up just seeing plays every week, and Broadway, off-Broadway, and I guess about 5 years ago, I think it was when Phil Hoffman was in Death of a Salesman, I came to this place with theater that it just kind of was dead to me. And I was bored, and I know that's kind of like a blasphemous thing to say, but I just felt that proscenium theater could only go so far, and so I kind of stopped to go. And then a friend of mine dragged me to go see this thing called Sleep No More. I don't know if you
Oh, that's the Macbeth. Yeah,
yeah. I mean, I had no idea what it was. He told me we were going to see like experimental theater, so
Did you do the air quotes? Because that does not sound good.
Yeah, experimental theater. I mean, I did the air quotes in my head. I've seen a lot of really bad experimental theater, not to,
Sure. I mean, you guys familiar with experimental theater? Ever been to some bad stuff? Like people